Guys, welcome to Beyond Guilt Outdoors, the only channel that really matters. We've finished up another project, so we're going to upload a video on it. If you're new to this station, be sure to smack that subscribe button. If you like what you see, pound the snot out of the like button. If you don't like what you see, pound the snot out of the don't like button. If you see something by the time this video is over that you did like, or something that you would do different, a way to make it better, please leave me a comment on that. I'd like to get those comments and see what we can do. Today we're going to be talking about Vortex Decoy machines, or what I call a whirly bird. These have been around a long time. There's a lot of different versions of them. I think the first one I saw was 25 years ago, hunting crow. It was a homemade job, and it was from a guy's hunting crow in upstate New York. One of the big outdoor retail chains does sell one marketed under the name of Vortex, and it's a nice unit, very solid, but it didn't have all the features that I wanted in one of these things. It doesn't come with a battery, it doesn't come with decoys, so on and so forth like that. But really more important to me was I wanted one that was all self-contained. I wanted power source and motor all in one box. That was kind of one of my first requirements, and that left me to the next one where I had to have a remote control. I needed to be able to sit in a blind 50 yards, 25 yards away from the thing and operate it. It was also important that we could swap out decoys, go from ducks to crows to doves and back real quick, real easy. And if you're going to change decoys, then you need to change the speed that they're rotating at. Different birds fly at different speeds. Now, my last two requirements go as much to the fact of my being kind of anal and over-engineering stuff as they do to my hunting partner. I needed industrial strength. This thing had to be solid, take a lot of abuse. I also needed it to be able to deploy quickly. I wanted to be able to get it out of the truck and up and running in under 2 minutes. Now, like I say, some of that goes to Billy. Billy's a great guy to hunt with, but he is one of the original I can't drive 55 kind of guys. He's got one speed, and that's WFO. Consequently, he's kind of hard on stuff. It's kind of earned him the nickname of looking good, Billy. You've been working out, I can tell. So anyway, we're going to move over to the workbench. I'll show you the guts in this thing. So if you're contemplating making one of these, maybe you can learn from my mistakes, or it'll help you out maybe to save a couple bucks, whatever. And speaking of bucks, as far as full disclosure goes on that, you can buy the prepackaged ready to go one for about 150 bucks. As I said earlier, you're not going to get the battery, you're not going to get the decoys. By the time I was all over, I probably had 225 to 250 bucks in this thing. If I were to do it again, I could do it cheaper just because of making mistakes along the way. But I'll show you those to help you out if you decide to go this way. So let's take this bad boy apart and see what we got. All right, guys, I thought we'd do this into two parts. I'll do the stand, and then we'll go over to the bench to do the guts of the outfit. But basically, I started this off with just rebar, tack welded it onto the bottom of a 1/2-inch floor fixture, plumbing floor fixture. Then we came up with a length of black pipe, 1/2-inch black pipe, and there's another floor fixture affixed to the box here. I was gonna do it where they just screwed together, but I kept finding that the weight of the box with everything in it made it a little awkward to screw this together out in the field, particularly when you had a big load of dirt in it and whatnot like that. So what I did was just cut the half-inch pipe there, and then we had to bore this out a little bit so that we could fit a piece of 5/8 inside that, and drilled it so that you can just pin it together. It makes it a lot quicker and easier to do. So then you come up to the box, which is just a standard military ammo box. I think this is the one 250 rounds of 5.56. As far as, you know, when you got the motor inside, this is what's going to mount on top of it, spinning around, of course. This I went a little fancier than I had to. I asked Adam to water jet this piece out, and then he found me some tubing to weld onto it. If you don't have the ability to do that water jet and stuff, there's a lot of workarounds for this. You can go on YouTube and find all kinds of ways to get around this, or even this. You don't have to go so fancy. I saw some guys were using even like a photography tripods or surveyor's tripods, whatever. There's a lot of different ways. You can probably already find a stand prefabricated. But I have access to Bill Maher CNC, which is one of the premier machine shops in the southeast, so I was able to get a couple extra things done like that. And as far as what goes in this, I saw a lot of guys were just using 1/4-inch steel rod, but I found this stuff, 6-8 foot lengths of this stuff at one of the big outdoor stores. It's basically an aluminum core with plastic wrapped around it, and it fits just absolutely perfectly in there. And then hang the decoys on the end of that. Just put a little hook on the 6 foot length of that, and it's actually so tight that it didn't have to be pinned. These pipes don't have to be pinned in on that. So that pretty much is it for the stand. There's nothing really too complicated there. So we'll now move on to the workbench where we got the guts of this thing sitting out, and I'll show you what's inside there and what goes in the box. Back over here to the bench. I got everything kind of spread out here for you. I'll go through it quick on what I got and why I used it. We'll start at the bottom, then work our way back upstream. Motor. This is a windshield wiper motor. I think I got it out of a 2006 Ford Focus. You can get other motors. I saw one guy on eBay or YouTube that I think he had tried using one of those $15, $10-15 Chinese 30 RPM 12 volt motors, and there's just no way those are going to have the huevos to take care of this. I just can't see it. So I went ahead, like I said, to the junkyard and I grabbed this. I think I spent $15 on it. Now, working our way upstream will be the converter. For a couple reasons I had to get into a converter. Number one, to adjust speed, and number two, to slow this motor down. My next mistake was buying this one. They're both by an outfit called Drok, D-R-O-K, Drok, and it wasn't anything wrong with it. It's just that the first one didn't have any kind of a protective housing to it or anything. So mounting it in there, I just knew she wasn't going to last. So I went to this one. The first one was like $8 and this one was like $15. Again, Amazon, I think, eBay, I'm not sure. But this one was really nice in that it came with this nice plastic housing. I don't know if the camera will pick that up, which made it very mountable. So I fabricated up just a couple of braces so it could almost be suspended in there, nothing touching it. Hopefully that's going to protect it for a while. Now, some of the other advantages that came with this one over the first one is, number one, it had a gauge showing for battery life, what you got charged left on your battery. It's showing your amp hour usage. It's showing you what voltage you're pumping through it. And it's very simple. Well, I don't have my glasses on. I can't see that little thing, but you can adjust your up and down speed as easy as just a screwdriver. Let me turn this off. I can't think of what else there was to say about that, but if you are going to do that and you want the adjustable speed, or you got to choke down a motor, get the better one. Next up is going to be the remote control. again, eBay, I think, $18. Nothing wrong with it. Has worked fine so far. It came with two of the controllers. They got a nice cover that'll go over them to keep you from inadvertently using it. They got a pull-out antenna. They advertise 150 feet. When I first put it in the box, the antenna wire is only about 8 inches, 10 inches long. So when I first tried to use this in the box, it wasn't picking up the signal very well. I had to be like right on top of it. So I added about, another foot or so of wire on it, and I drilled a hole in the box so it could come out and wrap around the stand. And now I'm out to a full 140 feet on this thing. So generally you're going to be within 50 yards of your decoys and so on and so forth. Okay, last thing up is the battery. Really the heart of this thing. And this is kind of the way I needed to go to fit everything in the box. These batteries, this is what's called a lithium iron phosphate battery. These are made by an outfit called Bioenno. They're out in Southern California. I guess they're real big with the motorcycle crowd and also the kayaking crowd, because that's how it was first recommended to me. A friend that is deep off into fishing from kayaks uses one for power, and I think his fish finder, maybe his radio or something like that. I don't know. The thing is nice. It was the most expensive item out of this whole thing. It cost me $100 for the 12-volt battery and the charger that goes with it. Now, the battery itself, if I'm understanding this correctly, has a chip inside of it that controls both its discharge and its charging. They have it set up. This is the charging plug. So I don't even have to take this thing out of the box to charge it. I just flip out the plug and charge it right back up. This thing I've been using the snot out of this thing, and it hasn't even shown any loss of battery charge as of yet. We shall see. We'll give her a full day out in the crow fields and see what happens. I think that's about it. Let's see if I missed anything. No, I think that's got the whole thing. As long as I'm right here, let me set this tripod up. This is how I did the decoys and being able to swap them out quick and easy. Just cut a couple of quick holes, quick slots in the top, this in, just like that. And then you can switch out to a different decoy just as fast. I got the idea from this, again, from a YouTuber. But what this resembles is your the grate, the grill that's over your bathroom's ventilation fan. When you pull that down, it's just a small version of this. Really easy to make these at home. Didn't take but a couple minutes. And I can swap it out between different decoys. It works real good, and that's about it. So I'm going to put this all back together. I'm not going to bore you with too much of that. If I do, I'll speed it up real quick, because it's like trying to put 50 pounds of mud in a 5-pound sack, as Dolly Parton would say. All right, guys, that didn't take too long. 6 seconds to put the thing back together. Hope you liked it. Sorry if we went a little long-winded on this one. I try to keep these things shorter. Like I said at the gate, if you liked it, hit the subscribe button. If you like crow shooting, dove shooting, Billy and I got our hands on a couple of shot cams, and those things make for some great bird hunting video. We'll probably also be trying those on turkey next spring, but you don't want to miss that, because we are thumping the snot out of crows, man. It's kind of cool. I want to give a quick thank you out to Adam. He helped me with a lot of the advice on this, how to, so on and so forth. Also his wife Amanda, who helped me with some of the editing. I'm still learning this stuff, and I'm learning how stupid I am about it. So that about wraps it up. Hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you on the next one.